Hey you guys, good to see you as always here on the channel, and spoiler alert, this is not a gardening video. You know, here in the past videos I've talked about I was going through a divorce, and a lot of you have reached out to me, and I really do appreciate all your comments and support, but I want to let you guys know it is finally over. 15 months of not a lot of fun, but it's finally over. Got the stamp, got the t-shirt. Don't ever want to go back there, but just wanted to make a video to tell you guys, give you an update on me, how I'm doing, and I'm doing fantastic. But again, appreciate you guys reaching out and checking on me all the time. But I thought about, making a video too of just my experience of going through this tough time in my life and just sharing some things that have helped me with you guys. Well, I'm down here at one of my thinking spots. This is a little trail that I've taken you guys on a walk before in some of the past videos. This is where I come a lot just to kind of think and reflect and meditate and relax, and figured it'd be a good spot as any to talk to you guys a little bit about going through tough times in life. This path that I've recently been on was certainly a difficult row to hoe, and 15 months is a long time to go through anything, but here we are at the end. And to be honest, I couldn't be happier. So, if you've watched any of the past videos, a few months ago, I was in a much different spot, singing a much different tune, thought the thing would never be over. And so I just wanted to share a few things that helped me along the way in case you are going through a rough patch in your life right now. And, I kind of want to start off by saying what I think is the most important thing to realize is that it's okay not to be okay. And it's so important, I'm gonna say it again. So it is okay to not be okay. I think especially today in this society, everybody expects you to be perfect. You look at Facebook and you see all these what seem to be perfect lives. Well, let me tell you something. Nobody on this entire earth, including you, including me, is perfect. So don't expect that from yourself right now. Life sometimes is messy. It gets turned upside down. 15 months ago, my entire world got literally turned upside down, and I didn't know what to do, and I was definitely not okay. But I struggled with accepting that it was okay to not be okay. I wanted control over it. I wanted, wanted to feel normal, and I wanted to carry on about my daily routine just as I always had, but I couldn't because, I was a mess. I remember I was so discombobulated and stressed out in the beginning. I'll never forget it. One morning I had my vitamins in one hand and my orange juice in the other, and obviously I was gonna take my medicine. Well, I walked to the sink, put my pills down the drain, took the orange juice, poured the orange juice down the drain, and like 2 or 3 seconds after all my juice was down the drain, I was like, Ryan, what the hell are you doing? When you're going through a really stressful time, you can't think straight, and you just have to accept that and find the humor in it. We are simply human. We're gonna screw up. We're gonna continue to screw up, but do yourself a favor and cut yourself some slack right now. I remember some advice a friend gave me down at the garden center. I was walking around, and she knew the situation I was going through, and she said, Ryan, just make sure to give yourself grace. And she said it a couple of times, and I knew that it was important for her to convey that message to me. But to be honest, I didn't really understand what that truly meant. So I had to come home that night and was thinking about it, and I had to look it up. And it made sense once I understood what she was trying to say. And basically, to allow yourself grace is to, treat yourself just like you would treat others, to give yourself a break. Cut yourself some slack. Don't be so hard on yourself. And that's really kind of the beginning to the whole healing process. Allow yourself the time and the space that you need to get the whole healing process started. And most importantly, just remember to breathe. As simple as that sounds, I found it super helpful every day, no matter how stressed out I was, what I had going on. First, I woke up. Hey, that's a plus. That's always a positive right there. But if it was one of those really, really tough days where I didn't even want to get out of bed, didn't want to do anything, I would tell myself, okay, the only thing that I have to do today is breathe. And then another thing that I think might be helpful to you as, sitting from where I'm sitting right now, looking back at my situation, is your whole perspective of whatever's going on right now. How are you looking at it? And how can you look at it differently to where you can kind of see what positive changes could come from this event? A lot of times these things that are happening right now are really just a crossroads in our life, and you kind of got to look at it as almost an opportunity, because right now, this crossroads in front of you, you can go this way or you can go that way. How can you take a positive spin on whatever negative thing might be going on? What opportunity lies if you go this direction? Could this really be a blessing in disguise? And I know sometimes it's hard to look at it in this manner, how to find light in a dark situation. But now looking back, I realize that this was just a crossroads, and it was really scary to take this path or that path. But now I see it as being, a new road for me, and I'm excited about it now. I want to see what the future holds down this new road. I mean, let's face it, whatever situation you're in right now, you're in it. Like, it's moving, it's going, you have little control over it, but it's moving, it's going forward. So how can you use that momentum to make changes that maybe you've always wanted to make? Could it be a career change, or maybe even a location change, a lifestyle change? The possibilities are really endless, but you need to kind of open up your field of vision and don't just look at it with like doom and gloom. Oh, this situation sucks, I'm never going to get better, it's just going to make my life worse. And again, I know this is easy to say, hard to do, but just kind of take a step back and open up your perspective on your situation and start thinking about ways that you could make it better, and how can this better you in the long run. And then don't be afraid to ask for help. In the beginning, I didn't want to put my burden of my problems on any of my friends or family or coworkers, but they were offering their support, and I'm super lucky to have those people in my lives that cared enough to offer that support. But I didn't want to take it in the beginning. But if people are offering you support, use that. Take that motivation and that positive reinforcement and use their help, because you're carrying a big heavy load, man, and it ain't easy, and it's much easier if you have some help. Don't try to go through this thing alone or feel like you have to. Use whatever means necessary, like YouTube. You guys help me way more than just sending me all your comments and thoughts. And then I watched a ton of videos on YouTube on self-help and how to deal with these types of situations. TED Talks, I watched a ton of TED Talks, but all those things, along with friends and family, really helps to build you up. And you need that right now. This is really a hard thing to go through alone. So I encourage you guys to, like, literally whatever means of support you can find. Hell, if you need to, write me a comment. I will personally write you back. But you need that support system in place to help you get through this really tough time. Are there some hobbies that you've always wanted to try that you just never did? Well, again, use the momentum of this situation to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make these changes. I'm gonna do some new things. I don't care whether it's painting, riding a bike, whatever, as long as it's a positive hobby or something to take your mind off of the situation to help you grow as a person. Now is the time to try some of those new things. And I will admit, it can seem kind of scary to even want to try a new hobby, or maybe you're just so down right now till you don't want to do it. You don't want to make yourself go out and try new things. But I picked up mountain biking, and my son and I went. And if you make yourself go and do these things, you'll be amazed at how good you feel afterwards. I also poured myself into my YouTube channel. I would just make tons and tons of gardening content. The gardening one, that's my therapy. I love it. But then just having something to do, editing the footage and putting it out, for you guys to see, and then getting your comments. All of that was really a positive experience to get me out of the funk that I was in and all the negative thoughts that I might have been having at that time. You just kind of force yourself out into some kind of positive reinforcing activity. And I do feel like that if it's physical, that's even better, because you're building up all this stress inside you and building up all these acids. And if you don't go out and get that out, or at least for me anyway, that stuff just stores up and you just kind of store up all that negativity. So again, take this situation as an opportunity to get out, try new things, join a book club, join a bowling league, join some type of internet group. There's tons of avenues of hobbies and interests that are out there that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. So start researching on that. Go look. That'll help get your mind off of things, and who knows, the friends you might make or the cool new hobby that you might have. Another thing that really helped me too, because I have so much going on in my life and it's so busy and I had everything stored up here in my head, was to make lists. And I have lists everywhere. And even if I didn't ever go back and look at them, just kind of freeing up a little bit of mental hard drive space would help me out, because if I could get it down on paper, then I was able to pull it out of my mind, and that was just one less thing that I was thinking about, because I knew that I have written it down. I'm not going to forget it, and there it is. But it freed up a lot of real estate. Not that I have a lot up there, but it did help. And if you are going to make a to-do list, if that's something that helps you, don't let that overwhelm you. Make your to-do list, but then set realistic expectations for yourself. Don't push yourself too hard. If you only get one thing checked off for the day, well then, hey, that's one thing checked off. I remember in the very beginning, I just wanted to change my whole house. Like, I wanted everything that reminded me of the past. I wanted it different. And I tore the whole house apart. And that was a big mistake, because after I got done tearing it all apart, then I got this overwhelming feeling of, oh crap, my whole house is in shambles and now I got to put it back together. So what I learned from that experience is to just take on small tasks. So instead of tearing your whole house apart, maybe just for the day, say, all right, I'm going to clean out this one drawer in the kitchen. Set these small obtainable goals so that you're easily able to complete them, and that will make you feel a lot better than destroying your whole house. Going back to what I said earlier, now is the time that you need to take it easy on yourself. So don't, I kind of almost punished myself in a way in the beginning by making these huge lists, and people tell you to stay busy, which that's true, that is a good thing. But I would do it to a point of where I would get overwhelmed, and I think that stressed me out more by making too big a list and feeling like a loser because I didn't get everything checked off for that day. But just go easy on yourself right now. Do only what you can do. And if it does get overwhelming for you, then give yourself a break. Allow yourself the time to go take a walk and just breathe and just focus on you. That is the most important thing right now in your life, is to make sure that you are okay. Yeah, I know we've got families and we have to take care of our kids and we have to take care of this and that, and the list goes on and on, but you really just need to focus on yourself right now and your well-being, because if you're not well, then you can't take care of all these other things. One of the things I think I struggled and am still struggling with is letting go. That's a hard one. This one's definitely much easier said than done, because you have all of these memories from the past, and you kind of have to make your mind up to selectively keep the memories that you want to keep. All the bad stuff, you just have to let it go, or at least begin working towards letting it go. I wish there was almost like a button in your brain that you could just press and make all this stuff just kind of go away, but unfortunately you can't. I think time is the only thing that really heals us in the long run. But holding on to all those old memories, they don't do you any good, and you can't just forget them. I get that, especially like stupid Facebook pops up memories from years ago. I'm like, oh, that hurts. But with time, I think you can allow yourself to kind of let go of all of those bad memories in the past, whatever they may be. It's not going to be an instant delete, but you know, whatever you're going through right now, you know, I remember having these feelings like you just feel horrible, man. Like it's the worst feeling ever. It's like just utter despair. But one thing that I found comfort in was always knowing that, you know what, yeah, this sucks right now. But just like storms, just like any other unfortunate, sucky events that has happened in the past, they always blow through. You know, this too shall pass. I know that's like the oldest saying in the book, but think about it. You've gone through tough stuff already in your life, made it through it. On the other side, this is just another one of those times, and it's not going to always be like this. It's going to get better. No matter how big or scary or catastrophic the event that you're going through right now is, it's gonna pass. You're gonna go through it and you're gonna be better on the other side. Another thing that has been really tough for me to kind of wrap my brain around is forgiveness. You know, what does that actually mean and how do you give it? You can say, I forgive you, or you can try to forgive yourself for mistakes that you've made in the past, but how do you make yourself actually feel it? And I'll be honest, I wish I knew that answer, because I want to forgive people for things in the past. I want to forgive myself for mistakes in the past, but I think this is another one of those things that just takes time and also just a lot of work on your part to really want to give that forgiveness either to yourself or to someone else. I think this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how nobody's perfect, we're not perfect, we're going to continue to make mistakes. Maybe instead of forgiveness, I want to look at it as acceptance, because we know people are going to continue down the road to let us down. We're going to let ourselves down. Maybe once we accept the fact that we know these things are going to happen, then maybe forgiveness will just come. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one, and again, I'm still struggling with that one myself, and I am no mental health professional. I'm just an average dude that loves plants and gardening. But I do hope that by me sharing some of my experiences and things that have helped me will help you. And if you're going through a tough time right now, man, I really do feel for you. And seriously, drop me a comment down below or reach out to whatever means that you have for any kind of support. Use that support to help you get through this. And I'm serious, the most important thing is know that you're gonna get through this. It may seem really dark right now, and it's not gonna be the easiest road to travel, but you are gonna come out of this on the other side better for it, and you just gotta know that. Guys, I sure appreciate y'all watching this video. I appreciate all of your comments and all of your support over the past few months. It means a lot more to me than you know. I can't thank you enough. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and you know, life really is a big garden, and the more you know, the more you grow. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next video.